The sun is rising sluggishly from its winter slumber in mid-January 2024, giving the horizon a glowing golden hue as we fly to Leh.
All crew landing stations.
Ladakh's capital is the first destination on our travel to and then through eastern Ladakh and Siachen. Before this flight to and travel from Leh, let's rewind to a journey we made before this that explains the criticality of road connectivity both in the strategic and developmental sense. We initially travelled to Kullu in Himachal Pradesh, so we can drive to Ladakh from there. With the sun still to rise over Delhi's airport, the bright lights on the tarmac don't reflect the polluted skies above ground level at all. Once it's daylight, the smog is evident, while taking off and even above the layers of haze. An hour and a half later though, the contrast couldn't be greater. The Kullu Manali airport welcomes us at a height of 4,200 feet above sea level in a valley between the Pir Panjal and Great Himalayan mountain ranges.
मनाली जा रहे हैं ना? हाँ सर मनाली जा रहे हैं ना?
अभी कहाँ जा रहे हैं?
अभी तो सर योजक में जा रहे हैं।
योजक. Wear your seat belt for a safe drive.
Without wasting time, we buckle in to head for the Border Roads Organization (BRO) Project Yojak headquarters in Solang Nala. The 60-odd kilometers take us less than 2 hours from Bhuntar Airport, with the Bias River keeping us constant company. The view of a snow-capped mountain with just a wisp of a cotton-like cloud drifting over the summit under the bluest of skies gives us an idea of what lies ahead. And explaining exactly what lies ahead is Colonel Vikas Gulia, Chief Engineer of Project Yojak. He briefs us in his office in Solang Valley at 8,250 feet before we set off on the much higher roads to Leh. Ladakh is cut off from the rest of the country in winter for months, with snow closing the passes that lead to it. It is vitally important both from the point of view of military deployment as well as for the local civilian population to keep routes open for as long as possible. To reach Leh by any of 3 routes, the Shivalik, Pir Panjal, Great Himalayan, Zanskar and Ladakh ranges must be crossed. One way is the 724-kilometer Pathankot-Jammu-Srinagar Kargil-Leh axis. This axis on NH1 passes through Zojila, La meaning pass, at 11,578 feet on the Srinagar-Kargil-Leh road. The pass is usually closed from October to May because of heavy snowfall and avalanches. The BRO has been reducing the road closure period over the years. From up to 150 days of closure earlier, the pass was closed for only 110 days in 2021. It was kept open till the 4th of January and reopened in just 73 days in 2022. In 2023, traffic was allowed till as late as the 6th of January, and it was reopened on the 16th of March after just 68 days. This year in 2024, the pass has been open past mid-January. Once the 14.2 kilometer Zojila tunnel under the pass is complete, all-weather connectivity will be established and travel time to cross the pass will come down from 3 hours to 20 minutes. But the Srinagar-Leh highway runs close to the line of control between Dras and Kargil. During the 1999 Kargil War, one of Pakistan's aims was to cut off the highway and affect India's capability to maintain troops in Leh and Siachen. The second route to Leh is the 804 kilometer Pathankot-Manali-Sarchu-Leh NH3 axis. The 427 kilometer Manali-Leh highway is also strategic for the movement of the armed forces, its logistics and supplies to forward areas in Ladakh along the northern borders, as well as connecting civilians to the rest of the country.
This is the alternate access to Leh, which goes through Manali. So it first crosses the Rohtang Pass, and that's been dealt with by the Atal Tunnel. The Atal Tunnel has actually drilled through the Rohtang Pass, and then afterwards on NH3, we have two more passes of significance. One is the Baralachla and the second being Taglangla. Both are upwards of 17,000 feet. And once these projects to make tunnels through them gets through, then we will have all-weather connectivity through this axis, that is Manali to Leh, all-weather connectivity.
But till the tunnels are built, one must negotiate 4 high-altitude passes. Baralachla at 15,908 feet, Nakila at 15,642 feet, Lachungla at 16,594 feet, and Tanglangla at 17,476 feet. 10 to 15 feet snow walls close this NH3 route from November for months till BRO teams can reopen it. Oxygen scarcity at these heights and acclimatization at these altitudes makes this route also extremely challenging. That's why the third access to Leh, the 297 kilometer Nimmu-Padam-Darcha NPD road, which is shielded from both the LAC and the LOC, is crucial to deal with the dual threat from China and Pakistan and cater to developmental connectivity. It is a critical alternate access to Leh and has several other significant advantages. Movement from Manali to Leh via NH3 and then towards Kargil is an almost 700 kilometer journey. The NPD road reduces the Manali-Kargil route to 522 kilometers, apart from eliminating the need to travel through 4 high passes.
What we've been talking about is not just one axis for connectivity to this strategically important part of India. We're looking at 3. The connectivity is based on the strategic importance, and both are symbiotic. They sustain each other. Because it's strategically important, we have so many routes connecting, and with so many routes connecting, we will have much more development, laterals and axials developing in this area.
For troops, logistics and civilians, the Manali-Darcha-Padam-Nimmu Leh road is about 444 kilometers compared to the Manali-Leh 473 kilometer distance. And once the 16,580 foot high Shinkula tunnel is ready by an expected 2026 date, the biggest benefit of the third axis, the NPD road, will be all-weather, all-year connectivity between Leh and the rest of the country. Once oriented geographically on maps, we leave the BRO Yojak camp to test that connectivity along the NPD road. Colonel Gulia decides to drive himself. One major step to all-year connectivity to Leh is the Atal Tunnel, built in the eastern Pir Panjal range under the Rohtang Pass. In the warm sunshine with snow-covered peaks ahead, that's where we head. We turn past a nearly dry riverbed whose source is the Bias Kund, a high-altitude alpine lake. With the bluest of blue skies above us and snow-sprinkled mountains up north, we enter the south portal of the 9.02 kilometer long Atal Tunnel. It's a single-tube, 2-laned, bi-directional tunnel that connects Manali in the south to the Lahore and Spiti Valley in the north throughout the year. The World Book of Records certifies it as the longest highway tunnel above 10,000 feet. It reduces the distance between Manali and Leh by 46 kilometers and brings down travel time by 4 hours. Unlike the Christmas holiday in 2023, when a record 28,210 vehicles reportedly crossed it, it is designed for a traffic density of 3,000 cars and 1,500 trucks per day, with a maximum speed of 80 kilometers per hour. The near-freezing temperature is already taking a toll on our equipment. Our camera batteries are barely lasting a few minutes. It is also the country's first tunnel to have an escape tunnel within the main one. In case of emergencies, there are phones every 200 meters, CCTV cameras along both tunnels, and fire hydrants every 60 meters. Air quality is monitored at every kilometer. There are evacuation, lighting, and exit signs every 25 meters. A broadcasting system also operates throughout the tunnel. Firefighting, illumination, and monitoring is based on a supervisory controlled and data acquisition or SCADA system. We make a quick U-turn and return through the south portal to the tunnel's control room. Where Naved explains how systems are monitored and controlled.
सर ये हमारा मेन स्क्रीन है जिस पे कि हमारे फिक्स कैमरास का व्यू आ रहा है। यहाँ से हम पूरे टनल को मॉनिटर करते हैं, ट्रैफिक को। जैसे कोई भी कोई वायलेशन करता है तो उसे पुलिस के हवाले किया जाता है। जैसे कि कोई इनवर्स डायरेक्शन जाता है, ओवरटेक करता है या स्टॉप व्हीकल करता है बिना किसी वजह के, तो ये हमारा सब मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम था। उसके बाद में हम इस पर आ जाते हैं सर। ये हमारा कंट्रोलिंग एंड सॉफ्टवेयर है जिसको स्काडा बोलते हैं। तो इसमें डिफरेंट हमारे पास स्क्रीन्स बने हुए हैं जहाँ से हम डिफरेंट इक्विपमेंट्स अंदर जो भी हैं कंट्रोल और मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं। तो जैसे आपको फर्स्ट स्क्रीन दिखाऊंगा तो ये हमारा जो HV सिस्टम है उसका सिंगल लाइन डायग्राम दिखाया हुआ है, कहाँ से कैसे हमारा पावर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो रहा है, जिसके के सारे पैरामीटर्स यहाँ पे हमारे पास स्काडा में आते हैं और हम यहाँ से कंट्रोल भी कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद में नेक्स्ट स्क्रीन हमारा LV सिस्टम है जहाँ के हमें स्टेप डाउन करके अपना वोल्टेज, जिसमें UPS वगैरह अपने बैकअप्स है, मेन सप्लाई फेलियर होता है तो हम अपने बैकअप्स पे जा सकते हैं, जहाँ इसका भी पूरा मॉनिटरिंग होता है। पूरे यहाँ पे जितने भी उसके पैरामीटर्स हैं वो यहाँ पे आते हैं। तो इनको भी यहाँ से कंट्रोल किया जा सकता है। साथ में हमारे दोनों पोर्टल्स पे वेदर स्टेशंस हैं जिनमें डिफरेंट वैल्यूज़ आती हैं, जैसे बाहर का टेम्परेचर वगैरह, जो भी ह्यूमिडिटी वगैरह है, गैसेस लेवल हैं, वो सब यहाँ पे आता है स्काडा में।
Returning to the south portal, a 3D model explains the challenges of building the tunnel through the mountains. The plans in the future include the Shinkula tunnel on the NPD road and the Baralachla tunnel on the Manali-Leh NH3 route that will make both axes truly all-weather roads to Leh. In the Atal Tunnel, 3 heavy-duty fans at both ends separately circulate air. Smoke from the vehicles is removed from the main tube through a passage above the ventilation duct over the carriageway. Pollution sensors continuously monitor air quality in the tunnel, and when needed, the fans inject fresh air into the tunnel. Even at 50 to 20% of their full power, we can feel and hear the ventilation system.
We have 3 fans connected to the ventilation shaft, as you have seen already in the control room. So in these 3 fans each have capacity of 630 kilowatt, and 2 fans are functional and 1 fan is only standby. As per the requirement of the air quality monitoring system, the fan switches their speeds and controls. Okay, and this is the silencer to reduce the noise, because if the fan will run, I can show you what is the effect here and after the silencer.
Sound dampening silencers a few meters away almost completely cancel the noise and create a bubble. They even let us have a conversation despite the deafening noise of the fans on the other side. From the south portal, 25 kilometers north of Manali on the left bank of the Seri Nala, a tributary of the Beas Kund River, after travelling through the tunnel's 9.2 kilometers, we exit at the north portal under the Rohtang Pass and onto the southwest bank of the Chandra River. If we had taken the Manali-Sarchu road via the pass, we would have had to travel almost 79 kilometers from Manali.
The prime advantage which it gives is you can straightway bypass the Rohtang Pass. Previously, because of the height of the Rohtang Pass, this route used to get NS3 used to get closed for almost 6 months in a year. So now with this tunnel, in place, it gives you an advantage of shorter. It cuts out the travel time by 3 to 4 hours and almost 60 kilometers of travel. Distance wise, if I talk. And also the advantage is because of the little snowfall, it does not get impacted. So the NS3 gets closed only for maybe 2 to 3 months only. Previously it used to be closed for almost 6 months.
A bridge is being constructed across the Chandra River and when finished will aid in traffic management to and from the North Portal. From the North Portal, we head to the point where the NPD road and NH3 bifurcate on the way to Leh, passing one of the BRO's mottos, we will either find a way or make one. This is the view of the way made by the BRO on this road from the vehicle's windscreen, windows and sunroof.
We started from Manali, via Kelong we have reached Darcha. So Darcha is the place from where it bifurcates. So the route which is going on to your right. So this is NS3 and it is approximately 350 kilometers from here you will reach Leh. And if we go straight on this road, around 150 kilometers is Padam and then after another 150 kilometers is Leh. So the advantage of travelling on this road is that we have to negotiate, there's only one pass which we have to negotiate. However, if we travel on NS3, we have to negotiate 4 passes and the average height at which you are travelling, while you are travelling on NPD, it is almost 12,000 feet you are travelling at a consistent height. Whereas if you are travelling on the NS3, you have to travel for more than 150 to 170 kilometers at a height of 15,000. And while you have to negotiate such passes, there are a lot of zigs. So it is very, very time consuming. So this access is going to be very comfortable on the drive straight and you don't have to negotiate since only one pass where also tunnel is coming up. So there will not be too many zigs and it will be a very comfortable drive, smooth drive and at a lower altitude.
So both in terms of strategic value, this
definitely NPD will have, definitely NPD will have lot of advantage in terms of cutting short onto the travelling time and also the acclimatization will be as what is required and this will generally be open throughout the year.
This dozer, what you see, this got stuck in avalanche.
We then climb towards Shinkula and the site identified for the tunnel under it, which again will be a game changer for connectivity even during the heaviest snowfall in winter. The Shinkula tunnel, cleared by the Union Cabinet in February 2023, will complete the shortest, safest and strategically critical third alternative corridor for the armed forces to forward areas in Ladakh.
So we are around 500 meters short of Shinkula top. So if you start looking towards your right, you can see a board which is placed in black and white. So that is the place where the south portal of the Shinkula tunnel, which is going to start in this year, is going to come. So this tunnel is, basically twin tube tunnel of around 4.1 kilometer.
And estimated timeline when?
See the timeline, the tender action is already in progress. So by January it will be all snow clad in January. So effective work will start only in the April and then after maybe 3 years of time it will take to complete. And meanwhile this entire access would also be blacktop. So maybe by end of 26 this access will be through.
Till then, this route goes further upwards and over the bone-freezing heights of Shinkula, which connects Lahore and Spiti in Himachal Pradesh with the Zanskar Valley in Ladakh.
So this is the highest point over this Shinkula Pass. So from mean sea level, this is at 16,580 feet.
Wow.
From here, this is called as gateway to Zanskar also. And once we start with the tunnel with this, and once that tunnel finishes, this tunnel is going to be the world highest tunnel. And the temperatures, as you can feel it, it must be minus 20 as of now. So this is to keep the NPD road open without this tunnel being in place. This is the biggest challenge that we face on this road, to keep this Shinkula Pass open.
I can imagine, totally.
With the sun setting and night approaching, the temperature is almost minus 15 as we head to Padam to spend the night. At a height of 12,037 feet, Padam serves as a crucial staging ground for an acclimatized Indian military to provide speedy reinforcements if needed at the China-occupied Tibet border or the LAC, Siachen and POJK. That is one of the many reasons for the strategic criticality of the Nimmu-Padam-Darcha road that we are traveling on. Coming up in the Himalayan Frontier Part 4, we complete our journey on the Nimmu-Padam-Darcha third axis to Leh and experience how the BRO is cutting through about 7 kilometers of the toughest vertical hard rock connecting Nirak and Chiling along the narrow and imposing Zanskar Gorge as it drills out a path through unconquered terrain.